I need to wait. Need more energy. I need to wait. Not yet. Not enough energy.
Hey everyone, this is Mr. Reward, and welcome to my first Titan Quest build guide. This is the guide for ZEUS, my first Titan Quest character, and let me tell you, he's pretty strong. I cleared the entire game up to level 40 and cleared all bosses with 0 deaths. So it might not have the highest damage you'll see in any Titan Quest 2 video, however, he's pretty tanky. You could actually play hardcore with this one. I decided to respect every single point to just show you in practice how you could level and what you could do. So you're gonna level with a couple things. I suggest you use the staff, but the weapon in this game doesn't really matter. You could use dagger and shield and you would be fine. You're gonna put 1 point into vigor and 2 points into knowledge. So that's what you're gonna do with 3 points. Every 3 points, 1 point into vigor, 2 points into knowledge. Vigor increases your health points. Then to actually level the build, we're gonna be playing with lightning bolt. And the idea for this build is pretty interesting. It is all about lightning strikes. So it's not about this skill per se, but it's more about the lightning strike. That said, we don't have a way to level up to the Divinity 6. So how we're gonna do that? I decided it's easier to go for primary attack, or you could actually level with Call Lightning. So first of all, we could just put a couple points right here. Thunderstorm. You get 3 Thunderstorm. It's going to allow you to Lightning Strike from Call Lightning. And then I guess that's all you need to level up to 6. You could go for the primary attack also, and you also have the Lightning Strike. You could put Fragmentation or Tailwind or Vitality Drain, Onslaught. Just find a way to get to Divinity 6, and that is just follow the campaign, right? Just do the main quests. While you are leveling, you're gonna get passive points. We're gonna put points into Raging Mind, which says it unlocks a spell rage, and that's important because later down the line we're gonna have ways to generate rage with lightning bolt. I wouldn't advise you to put 12 points from the get-go because there are more important things, and you probably will have unlocked the tier 6 divinity when you have 12 points, so you can just put 6 points when leveling. Then what do you get from here? The only important thing from here is cast speed. Ailment chance and crit chance will not do much for you, as the thing is we're not crit capped, we don't have the maximum crit, and we don't have the maximum chance to apply ailments, so they're not important. I'm gonna just put at 6 so you can see how it works. So it is at 6 it unlocks the cast speed, and at 12 it unlocks the other one, so we don't need that right now. We're gonna just put it at 6. Then you go to Lightning Bolt and unlock it when you reach at Divinity 6. We can put just a couple points. We're not gonna need all points into Lightning Bolt. So when you start, you're gonna want 1 point into Rage Gain, because you're gonna then activate the Raging Mind with the spell Rage. Rage is a mechanic that stacks up to 10 in this game, and each stacks grants you 1% attack and cast speed, but then we get to convert that to spells, so it increases 1% spell damage and 1% cast speed also, right? The thing is, we put only 1 point right now, and it says on hit you gain rage no more than once every 0.4 seconds, but you're not going to be able to cast so fast that this is going to matter. Then what else do you want? I really want lightning strikes, so I'm gonna put 1 point into lightning strikes, and I'm gonna have 10% chance to trigger a lightning strike on hit, and 1 additional projectile, because the way lightning works is you throw a bolt of lightning and you have to aim, but when it hits a target, if it has more additional projectiles like this one right here, it's going to split and basically try to search an enemy by itself. And the split can hit more enemies, so let's say when it splits it hits another enemy. So one hit has the chance, the first one has the chance to trigger a lightning strike, and then the splits can also trigger lightning strikes by themselves. So that's why we want additional projectiles right here, and that's all we want from this lightning bolt. The only thing is we need to make them go to 3. So We're not gonna do that right now because I want to put a couple points into Storm Nimbus, which is an aura and it was going to reserve a little bit of energy. I'm gonna put like 4 points, and now that I put 4 points, I'm gonna increase the damage from my lightning strikes by the thunderstorm. So this aura grants me 20% cold damage and 20% lightning damage, but I'm also gonna make it increase the lightning strike damage. It is not lightning damage though, it's the damage from our proc. Here we can proc it with the lightning strikes. We get 3 increases, and this is going to cost a lot of energy very soon. Go to level 7 and put 2 points into conservation, so it's gonna cost less energy, and it's gonna cost only 45 energy, because you're not gonna have that much energy to reserve. At this point right now, you probably already have the Warfare Mastery, so in this one, you wanna get to 6, which is Divinity 6 also. Unlock Doomhorn. You want 3 points into the Doomhorn, and then you're gonna make the follow-up to... So what the Doomhorn does is you press it, and it's gonna reduce the resistance from nearby enemies by 12%. The problem that the horn has is its range. That's why we're just gonna use follow-up right now. Follow-up says when directly used, you gain 20% attack and cast speed and 20% increased damage. We put 3 points in here. Basically the horn is a buff that increases our damage. That's all it does right now. What you're gonna get from the Warfare Mastery is the rage effect. You go to 8 points right here, ASAP. This one is Battle Rage, increases damage by 16% and 80% rage effect. That's awesome. Then for the feats, we want to get rage amount for 3 extra maximum rage, and rage on kill. On kill we're going to have a 50% chance to gain 3 rage. That's going to help us sustain rage very much. So we are pretty happy by getting those things. So with that said, you can go back to Storm and finish the leveling. So what you're gonna do right now is you're basically gonna keep playing. Let's say you play up to reach Divinity 3, this point right here. And here you're gonna grab only 3 points, actually only 2. I'm mistaken. So you're gonna put only 2 points right here into Blink, and you're gonna put only Engage. So what Blink is a dash, and you're gonna use this dash to reposition yourself. And also Engage allows you for 1.5 seconds to take 40% reduced damage. So when you think you're going to die, you're going to basically use Blink to get out of those situations and also take reduced damage. Let me go back to the core, because I put very little points into my skills, but I want to talk about a couple things. You will have to put points into Barrier, and that's what is going to make you invincible. And because of that, we're going to talk about Barrier. Barrier is basically the thing that they did for mages, actually. Because it consumes energy and it converts a bit of energy to a barrier. It will consume 280 energy to give me 2,500 barrier. I press it under my HP, 2,500 barrier, but it starts decaying very fast. That's what barrier is, and that's what's going to make us immortal. Because we're gonna put points into barrier, we wanna grab 3 enduring barrier. Those are very important. It reduces in 30% the global barrier decay rate, and we generate 380 barrier. We're gonna get the preparation, which means we cannot be using the barrier during the incapacitation, but we get 50% increased total barrier and 50% less global barrier decay rate. And this is pretty important because it combos with our 30 here, so we have 80% less global barrier decay rate, and we're gonna grab 20% in the tree. And I would say 5 points here is enough. You're gonna be fine. Just put a couple points here. Celerity, you want to get 3 points. What this does is when you dash, you gain movement speed, and it's a very huge increase amount in movement speed. See how I was fast there? That's what the dash celerity does. Next things we want to grab on the dash is dash attack. And then we want to grab 2 more points. Let's bring it to level 13. So we can get 1 extra charge. Right here. We get 1 extra charge. 3 charges. They give us movement speed and attack speed and cast speed. We get increased damage and crit chance for 1.5 seconds. That's all you need from dash. In both to the max, not to the maximum, but to 15. We're not gonna go to 16 or 17 to get this last one. We don't need the last one right there. We only need 15 levels in lightning bolt. So for lightning bolt, what is that we're going to get? Basically, we're going to get additional projectiles, so we can hit 3 additional projectiles, 30% chance to cast lightning strike, and 2% more damage per rage. You know that we can have 16 rage, and we don't need to increase the level because we don't need anything else from here, unless you have a very good weapon, and then weapon attack can increase the damage, but usually it doesn't. Then let's go back. If you put the points into lightning bolt, you can then put all the points you have into barrier, and you're gonna get the following thing: the base cooldown duration here. So now it is almost 10 seconds. You're gonna grab all the 3 points in here, and then you're gonna grab the 3 rage gains. The reason for that: using barrier grants 3 rage, and for 5 seconds after we used barrier, we gain 15 barrier whenever we gain rage, and we are very good at gaining rage. We can't use ailment cleanse because we got preparation, and when we are incapacitated, the barrier may not be allowed to be used. So that's why we do that. Okay, so from dodge and barrier, that was it. We don't use the main attack at all. Then we got the lightning. Let's now put points into Storm Nimbus. So the points into Storm Nimbus will go specially into Storm Enhancement, and we're gonna grab 5 points, and that means we're probably gonna need all the points. Yeah, we're gonna need 17 points in here. We do 20% increased lightning damage, but we do 60% increased lightning damage with the Storm Enhancement. So you have 6 passives here in Raging Mind. Then the next thing I would advise you to do is work in the Lightning Evoker. You put 8 points into Lightning Evoker, and whenever you use a non-channeling skill, there's a 45% chance we're gonna hit an enemy with a lightning strike. We're gonna use Rage to get another type of proc. Whenever Rage overflows, meaning when we reach maximum Rage and also try to gain Rage with already having the maximum, there's a 15% chance to hit an enemy with a lightning strike. So that's another type of proc. And we increase the lightning strike damage by 40%, combined with the 60% right here. It's a 100% increased lightning strike damage. And keep in mind that it's based on the player level, so you don't need a very good weapon to deal lightning strike damage. The next thing we want is Storm Adaptation. We want to put 10 points in here. This is going to give us Barrier Decay Threshold. We don't care much about this one, but it gives us also 40% cold resistance with 40% lightning resistance. And we put cold resistance and lightning resistance in the feats, increasing it by 10% and 3% to maximum. So that's going to give us 50% for both cold and lightning resistance, making it so that we only need 10%, actually 13%, to reach the cap, which is 63%. And that's gonna be very easy. So here's where all of our resistances come from. Next on the list, you wanna put points into Raging Storm and put all 8 points in here. So Raging Storm increases the damage and rage effect, just like Battle Rage does. It's the same deal. And then for defeats, we want to put the rage amount to get 3 plus 3 to maximum rage, which enables us to go to 16 maximum rage. And rage overflow. Whenever rage overflows, we have a chance to recover 80 energy, and energy is very hard to maintain in this build because barrier is going to consume everything you have. And the overflow can be very good. We have a couple extra passive points right here. I think this is the build done. You don't need to put any other point. The active points are going to go into battlefield awareness. This one costs 40 energy. We're only gonna put 2 points in yet the 2 reservation, making it free. So we get for free 300 armor, and then with the rest of the points, you're gonna get points into Doomhorn, for example, and you wanna get at least these 3 long ranges, and you also wanna get these minus. So we wanna get 3 of those. It increases to minus 24% the damage resistance, and we need to get it to level 15. And then we're gonna have. Oh, yeah, that's it. We're going to have only 1 point to distribute, and this point and go right here into Thunderstorm. So now we still have a couple passive points, and we're gonna get a lot more passives, but at this point you can finish the game. You can cap now Raging Mind to 12. It unlocks Spell Rage, and this you can choose whatever you want. I'm gonna put Ailment Chance, but whatever. Crit Chance, Ailment Chance is not gonna make a difference because you're not gonna cap. We don't care about Arcane Influx. Storm Protection. This is pretty interesting. It increases the barrier and barrier conversion rate, but it also has other effects. So this gives us the 20% less barrier decay rate that we need to reach 100%. And we can increase the barrier by 10%. These other things are good, but we're not gonna get everything. Then we're gonna go back to Warfare. And I don't know if this works very well. I don't know if this procs like Spell Rage twice and then we get 2% per stack. But I do know it works the first part when it says 4% increase spell damage, increase the attack damage. So we will get this to maximum, at least for the 32% increase spell damage and 16% increase attack damage. I do not think that the Invoker of War grants you double the spell damage from the Spell Rage. I think it only works when you have one, but still this is 32% increased spell damage point with 6% increased cast speed, and we can put Ailment Chance. I'm gonna take a look at how much ailment we have right now. This goes in the left mouse button, so 18% ailment chance is very good, right? This one, now we have only 18 points. This one, we only put to 5 points. It is projectile damage and speed, and we want projectile speed and projectile range. This one you don't need the, I decided to be 7. You only need to increase the health. Yeah, because those 6 points we're gonna put right here. That goes to 6. And it has shock chance and chill chance. So we're gonna increase the chance to shock. I know it doesn't show in the tooltip, but it increases. And we can get this one. Maximum shock, increased shock chance. So for the items, what are the items you recommend? So because I wanted this character to look like ZEUS the most, I did the first boss, I did Pen without the armor. You guys will see without the armor in Pen. Just take a look at my HP. And the other characters I did with the armor. Still I haven't died because just look at the amount of HP we get with the barrier. It reaches 5,000, yeah, roughly 5,000, and that's pretty much awesome, right? You're not gonna die with that much HP plus the barrier, even without the armor if you don't want to use it to look cooler. Then for the other items, you really are looking for a couple things. First, the staff you want the damage, like soul damage and cast speed. This weapon right here is lightning. It's worse than the fire staff right here, but it's cooler looking, so that's why I'm using this one. With this one, it says I do 1.3 thousand damage. With this weapon right here, it says I do 1.5 thousand damage. I did the bosses with the Thunder Crescent and not with the fire one, because the fire one is too overpowered. I think it's very hard for you to find one like this. So the one that I did the bosses has lightning damage by 25%, vitality damage, which leeches a little bit of health for me, an energy barrier, which increases the barrier again with the barrier, and area ability damage, which does nothing for me, so that's terrible. But the one you're looking for, the best one for your build, is this one. Has 51% increased lightning damage with 25% increased spell damage and barrier. So it's stupid. It's ridiculous. You're not gonna find one with 50%, but if you do, the damage is better. And if you find one with 75 or even more, who knows, right? I don't know about the legendary items because I couldn't find any. So maybe there's better staves than this one, but you're just looking on the stave for damage. Then for the health potion, you want a health potion that can cleanse anything. For example, this one cleanses bleeding and stagger, and it also gives you 63 health. You want one like this. Same thing for the energizing potion, one that gives you a little bit of energy. This one gives me 10 energy, and when you use, it gives you 50% maximum energy for 5 seconds. So you can start spamming skills. This is very important. Do have those 2 potions. And then for the rest of the items, just resistance. I'm not having any items with damage. They are probably plated robes. You can use mage robes too. The difference is the amount of armor you get. Mage robes have less armor and more energy barrier, and plated robes have more armor and less energy barrier. But the mods are very important. So this one, the helmet has fire resistance, strike armor, energy barrier, and cooldown rate. 0 damage mods. This armor right here has poison resistance, strike armor, critical hit chance, ailment power. This one has a little bit of damaging mods. Then for my body armor, strike armor, energy barrier, health, and health regeneration for second. No damage mods at all. For the belt, increase the attributes, poison resistance, and ailment chance, which allows us to have 18 without doing anything. Then for the ring, cold resistance, fire resistance, lightning resistance, energy barrier. Same thing I would like in the second ring, but I couldn't find. This one is a level 12 ring with damage over time. I don't use fire resistance, lightning resistance, ailment power. For the gloves, I have poison resistance, strike armor, energy barrier, and glancing hits. Even with a couple items with glancing hits, I couldn't cap glancing hits. And that's why I decided not to use on the second aura, the warfare aura, the 25% chance to do glancing hits. Because our glancing hits are very low, just 12 and 32. So I decided not to do it. Then for the boots, I have poison resistance, energy barrier, and movement speed. We could get better items, but the problem right now is I spent $500,000 on the... It's a kind of a trader, the gambler, where you can get items, and I couldn't find good items. He just gave me terrible items, and it was like hours of farming. So I don't know if I'm gonna continue this character. Probably not gonna go and look for better items, but you guys can see how stupid this build is when even with trash items like this, it's performing so well. So I guess that was it. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you could understand my terrible broken English. If you have any doubts or any questions, just put them on the comments down below. I hope you have a very good time playing Titan Class 2. So without any further ado, have a good one. Until next video.